My name is Jenny Munro. I'm a long-term resident of the Redfern Aboriginal community. Um, Also a proud radical. Um, my involvement with Gordon goes back to the early days of the Aboriginal Legal Service, and the reason that I stand in front of his painting, Judgment by His Peers, is because of this painting was actually hung at the Aboriginal Legal Service from the time that Gordon did the work, and for us it just was the easiest and quickest way to politicise all of the Aboriginal people that came through the door at the Aboriginal Legal Service during the 70s and the 80s, for them to understand the system that we have to fight every day of our lives as Aboriginal people oppressed by invaders in our own land. And that's the critical importance of this painting here, Judgment by His Peers. Its historical importance is that it was done in the 70s or the early 80s, I think, and that time in our political lives there were a great many things occurring. We had the advent of the Aboriginal Tent Embassy in 1972. We had the organisations being formed here in Redfern in the early 70s. So basically Redfern was the hub of our political heart in Black Australia at that time, and Gordon basically was the photographer or the camera for that political movement to be articulated, and Gordon did it beautifully through the medium of his painting. We have always empathised with the painting and the meaning of the painting, and try to explain to our people the reverse onus that it implies. How would white Australians in this day and age, in any day and age, consider a fair trial when they would be judged by a jury and a judge and a gallery of Aboriginal people? Because that in truth is what the legal system has done to Aboriginal people for 220 years. So the critical importance is to keep this collection of paintings, to house them in an adequate facility so that people can come in and look at the works and understand what they entail for our people. I have yet to see a work that shows David Gulpilil, for example, as true and as honestly as Gordon's work of the man does. I've yet to see a work of only Shirley Smith, other than the work that Gordon has done, that really gives Auntie Shirley her humanity in the painting. And you have to have known the woman to understand what I'm talking about, because she was really larger than life, and she's the sort of woman that didn't suffer fools for very long and very well. So she articulated a lot of she was the guide and the mentor for a lot of the young people here in Redfern during the 70s when we were setting up those organisations. So she was very important to the black movement, like Gordon was and still is very important to the black movement in this country, and that is the reason why we need to maintain these works. We need to have them acknowledged for the importance that they are in relation to the heritage of our people. We need to have it acknowledged, the importance that they have to the political history of our people, and finally the importance that they are on their own merits, the quality of the works. And I think he covers all of those bases very well, and with the marriage of Gordon and Elaine, with the paintwork of Gordon and the photography of Elaine, that really combined all of the elements of the political history movement that we need in the one place. And that's why this collection is vital to maintain for the future, for all of our future generations, my children, their children, so they can walk in here, see judgment by his peers, see David Gulpilil in his glory, see Auntie Shirley in her glory, all of the paintings that have meaning for our people. And they're all here, so they need to be saved for the future generations. The works and the artists that he's amassed over the years are a chronology of the dynamism of our art work as Aboriginal people, and that's the reason why that needs to be preserved, catalogued, collated, so that all of the artists are remembered.